Today we have a HFS Profalux. This is a lock I'd never heard of until I saw it for sale recently. I immediately grabbed it because I just love the shape of the key and the keyway. I'm fascinated by locks like this. Being French made, I'd imagine it'd be something weird. I'm not disappointed, to be honest. I've tried to do some research on this lock, can't really find any information. It's similar to some other locks, but I can't sort of nail down this one. Obviously we've got HFS France written on it. The only things on the key are a reproduction prohibited or something like that, and the Profalux name, and then there's a number on the other side. Anyway, looking at the key and indeed the keyway, if I bring you in for a closer look at that, just get you some light in there as well. You can see it's pretty much completely circular. There's nothing at the back we can grab. There are, oh geez, that's there's nothing at the back we can grab. We could sort of try and grab pins. Sorry about that glare. But that's really not going to work very well for us. However, in looking around, got to the bottom and I don't know if you can see, I hope you can. Down there is a hole, which is perfect for our needs. So that's exactly how I'm going to approach tensioning. What I've done is get a key ring, bend it straight, and then form it into a hook. I'm going to drop that into the hole in the bottom, and that gives me more tension. Now obviously I have to pick clockwise in order to open this lock. It sort of only turns 90 degrees clockwise. Just using a super crappy Amazon pick that was a harpoon or something like that, and I've just ground off all the useless bits and turned it into a fairly useful tool. Calling this number 1 on the bottom left and working my way around to number 5. 1 springy, 2 springy, 3, maybe got a little click, 4's binding, got a click, 5, little click, 1, that's springy, possibly even set. Same with 2, 3's binding, there, 4, that's springy, feels, that's set, 5's fine, 1, 2, nice click, 3 set, 4's binding, pretty sure I said 4, 5, feels good, 1, feels set, 2, feels set, 3, there we go. Now that's actually locked back up. I'd say that's close enough to 90 degrees if I show you the cam to call open. I've actually made this video 3 times and keep discovering that I can further gut the lock, so I keep remaking it in order to gut it, and frankly you don't really want to sit and watch me pick it that way one more time and then back this way. So I'm going to say that I'm going to put a peg on the actuator for you. I'm going to say that's open. Let's lock it back up so that I can use the key, and that's also necessary to gut the lock. So pin 1 is now up here, isn't it? Looks good. 2, 3, binding, click, 4, binding, got a click, 5's down here somewhere, it feels alright, 1, feels good. 2, it's binding, nice click. 3, feels good. 4, nice click. Oh, no, that was it. That is actually locked back up. We can take your peg off. And now I can actually put the key back in and operate the lock again. So if I put our peg back on, it was kind of like that. We had it picked to about there. I could have turned that far. Anywho, I'm just going to zoom out briefly while we move down to the gutting bench. Don't have a spanner that fits. This is going to do it. Yeah. Okay, here's our lock. C-clip. No, sorry, I've got to undo a screw down here. That allows me to take that out. What that is the actuator turny cammy thing and the rotation limiter. Then we've got a really horrible C-clip to get out, which requires a decoder knife to get behind it. Oh, don't break my decoder. Let's try this side. Oh, damn it. And then we can use our pick to get behind that. There we go. All right, that should be everything that's happening. I'm just going to zoom you in a little bit closer so you can see what's going on here. We can now take out this washer, which has a little nub on it that also acts in conjunction with this to limit the rotation. Now we can lift out the core. Now you'd think, being essentially a tubular lock, this would be a simple sort of pin tumbler arrangement with a shear line. Nope, it's actually got sidebars, and you can see them on the outside of the core there. I'll try and show you the shape they form. They sort of come out in lumps all around. And if I show you the inside of the core, I'll try and get a bit more light for you. It has similar shapes on the inside. So the idea is this sidebar is actually stationary. It's held in place rotationally by the core, and I'll just pull the pieces off now and show you how they arrange. Essentially, they're going to sit together like so. The outside, as I said, is going to conform to the inside of the housing there, and so that can't rotate. But you'll notice that there are 5 points there that correspond to the location of the pins. The pins, as you can probably see there, are blocking this channel, as it stands. In some cases you can even sort of partially see the gates of them. Bring it a bit closer. So there you can see a partial gate. Otherwise the pin's sort of sticking right into the channel. Now if the key's inserted, and this is the face of the lock, then those gates all align and nothing's going to interact with the inside of the sidebar. There's then nothing preventing this core from turning within that oddly shaped sidebar, whereas with the pins there, obviously it can't really rotate inside there. I hope that makes sense. Anyway, let's continue. This is as far as I've gotten. I've made 2 videos previous, as I said, and at the end of the last one I had concluded that I could go no further, and then I saw this clip here. So now I'm exploring territory. Oh, it is possible, and perhaps I should do it, to remove this. And that will expose our 5 springs, and I'm going to tip those out there, and as you can see we can't get our pins out that way, so that tells me that the only way the pins are coming out is this way, but that has exposed a edge for me, so perhaps with any luck, oh beautiful, that's come out. Now this was number 1 through 5. I'm going to keep them in that order so that I don't confuse myself. And we're going to get them out. There's number 1. That actually came out number 3. Come on. Okay, 4 wants to come out. We'll take it. 5. 5 is perfectly happy to come out. 2 on the other hand. Oh, happy chappy, there he is. Okay, I'm wondering if there's a bit too much contrast on this tray. Otherwise that's pretty much a straight tube, nothing much going on there. I really don't know why they've put that hole there for us. Is that the retention screw perhaps? Anyway, if it weren't for that hole, we'd have no wear detention and this would be a much harder lock to pick. As it stands, not so bad. Looking at what we have here, there appear to actually be false gates. There's an odd taper on the pins. I'm guessing that actually goes. But you're not going to be able to see these. I can't. There's just too much shininess. Let's get a mo tray and transfer the pins. Now I know these are correctly oriented, so I'm going to keep with this orientation. My digs tray is lovely, but man, it's hard to see on. I'll also transfer the sidebar over here, bit of contrast. Let's have the core as well. Alright, so there's little slots here that are going to accept the tabs on the sides here. So let's get them oriented the same way so we can perceive what gates are, what the base of the pin is. Come on. Let's It's interesting. There are certainly some ridges and things cut into it. It's they've made some effort to make this pick-proof, and why they didn't just make a pin tumbler lock, I mean, that's the French for you. They really they're really nuts with the crazy lock designs. I'm very grateful for it. They're awesome, but wow. Okay, let's bring you in. Oh, geez, right out of frame. But anyway, I'm going to bring you in for a close-up of these pins. And completely block your light in the process. So you can see the tabbed edges here, which would obviously keep the orientation of the pin correct as they go in and out of here, and also stop the pin from being able, that's why the pins weren't able to fall down. So that little tab would stop on a shelf. That doesn't continue through to the other side. They're just round on the other side. You can see that there is that's at the top, have a false gate there and there. A nice wide gate there. A bit of a sort of T-pinish thing going on there, I suppose. That would give you a sort of a falset feeling. Once again, some weird ridges around this one. We have two gates here. I can say that only one of them is a true gate, so which means there's two. Never really gave us a problem. Perhaps they are true gates, but maybe that's mastering. Pin 1 appears to perhaps also be mastered. I'm just trying to recall how deeply I had to set that. I don't think it was very deep for either of those two, so yes, perhaps master pinning. In any case, not extremely difficult lock to pick, but quite an interesting one nevertheless. So, quite a long video, but I thought I'd share what I could find about a lock that I'd never seen before. I hope you've enjoyed. Thanks for watching.